Hello students, my name is Mr. B. Ndlozi. Welcome again to another exciting video where we will be learning about the mail merge function basically. This is computer practice and 5 basically. We'll be looking at mail merge function. That is where now we are preparing a letter or a notice to be sent out to your clients or to basically whoever is intended to receive this particular communique. So for us to start on this, like I've said before, basically it's important that before you get into this video, please have a look at the previous video where we have created a data file and how do we go about creating a data file to be used in preparing a letter or a notice to be sent out to the recipients. Today's topics we'll be looking at primarily basically how does one uses a mail merge function to prepare a letter or a notice to be sent out to the intended recipients. Now, for us to be able to do this, we are going to be looking at a question paper that is a November question paper for 2016. So basically, this is a continuation of question 5A. So question 5B, basically, we will be looking at, it says the first instruction that we must use a mail merge function to prepare the notices for the clients. That is using the primary document, and then we must make use of the format that is Korea New with the font size 12. Now, your primary document, this is your document where you would have created basically your data file where you were creating all of those lists. You remember the ones that we've created on the previous video. So this is the primary document. So you need to go to Home tab and then make sure that your font type it is Korea New and then the font size it is 12 as per the guidance of the instruction. The next instruction, it says insert your examination number on the left and question 5B on the right as a header. So we go to insert, then we go to header, then we select. So on the left, this is where we type in our examination number. And then on the right hand side, basically this is where now we type in question 5B. So that is pretty much simple and straightforward since we are familiar with word editing. So once that is done, our next instruction tells us that we need to insert the fields where indicated in brackets. For example, like your address. So now for us to be able to do this, so already on your question paper you would have given, we are given this letter. Please ensure that, mind that this letter basically it's not pre-existing, but you have to type it from scratch exactly as it is. So because already I have a soft copy, so I will not be typing from scratch, but I will just simply copy and paste so that we don't waste time by just going through typing. So the first part of the letter, basically, it will have this particular text that needs to be typed in. That is notices of a public auction. Then it tells us after that that we need to leave 4-line spacing. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the 5th, again, we start typing. Then we are going to type in off. Okay, we have typed in off. Then again, it says we need to leave 3-line spacing. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 4th, then we start typing. So this is what we are typing. That is commercial cattle, sheep, and farming equipment. That is we type it. Then after that, again, 3-line spacing. So that is 1, 2, 3. On the 4th, again, we start typing as ordered by, then colon. Then we are going to type that as ordered by colon. Then again, this manuscript signs, it means we need to leave 2 character spacing. So that's the fan 2. And then basically on the 3rd, we needed to start typing. That is Mr. Space. Then now it says a name, but now everything that is indicated with the bracket, this is a field. Please note that if you did this, you will not get any marks. This is totally incorrect. So you never do this. So when it comes to field, you need to make sure that you insert the field names. You don't type them ever. So you will go to mailings. Then select recipient. In this case, we will use an existing list. That is question 5A, the one that has already been previously created. You'll notice that some of the mailing fields basically, or mailing functions, they will start being activated. So where do we get our match fields? So we get them insert field. So they've asked us to insert name. So we've inserted name. This is the correct way of doing it, and unfortunately it is the only way in this case. So again, after we've inserted that, then they ask us to leave 3 line spacing. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4th we prepare to type date at time. So again, date we insert, and then at time we insert. Then they ask us again to leave 2 line spacing. That's 1, 2. On the 3rd we start typing, but before we type, we are not done with the manuscript signs. So they've asked us everything that we've typed so far. They've asked us to center this. So we select, we go to Home tab, then we say center. Now remember, 1, 2, 3. Then we start typing offer. Offer must be underlined. Offer, it needs to be underlined. Then after that, we need 2 line spacing. Then from there, this is the text that we have been given. All of this must be typed in manually. So we are going to type this. Now they are asking us to write aligned basically what we have just typed in. So we are going to select all of this. Then we are going to select right alignment. Now we have right aligned basically the text that we have just typed in. Then we have the next text basically, or before another, that text they ask us to leave us 2 line spacing. So we have left 2 line spacing. So we are typing now auctioneer's note, and this must be underlined. Auctioneer's note, it's underlined. Then after that we leave 2 line spacing. That's 1, 2, and then on the 3rd we start typing. And then this is what basically needs to be typed. We type in this. Okay, it's carrying the underline from the previous sentence, but we can undo the number lining. So after this, again, we are being asked to leave 2 line spacing, and then from there we write in auctioneer. Auctioneer also must be underlined. Remember, where I am using copy, you are not copying from anywhere, but you will have to be typing. Then 2 line spacing. On your 2 line spacing, now you go again to mailings. This is where now you insert address. Underneath the address, then you are going to insert town. Now we needed to deactivate underlining because we have not been instructed to underline. So our letter now, it's done, and all the manuscript signs have been executed. So we continue with our questions. So the next question, it says, now change the field names to bold and underline. So it means we needed to bold and underline all of our field names, bold, underline. So it's easier basically when they are in a field format, because you just simply click on it, then you just select bold and underline. You can do this one by one, it's okay. Bold, underline, bold, underline. So all of our field names basically have now been bolded and they have been underlined. So we continue. It says now center the notice vertically. Now by doing that, it asks us basically now this entire letter must be centered in your vertical alignment of your document. So for us to be able to do this, click anywhere on your document, then we go to layout. Then on your layout there is a section that is written page setup, and then you open up your page setup tab basically, or a window. Now once that is opened up, now you will have to go to your layout tab. There is our layout tab. Now there is page section of that speaks about page vertical alignment. So you need to, we are being asked to center this, apply to the whole document. That is okay. Then we say okay. So you would have noticed that our document basically moved. The spaces, the space at the top is now equal with the space at the bottom of your letter. That is how you will see basically that your document is now being vertically aligned. So once that is done, they've asked us to save the document as question 5B. Save as question 5B. Now this is saved. Then after that, basically, they will ask us to make a printout and then basically use your portrait orientation, place the printout in your examination folder. So you will go to file, then you can, maybe before you even go to file, you can just go to check with your orientation, make sure that portrait is selected, then you go to file print. Now, before we end this session, it's very much imperative that I mention this. If you come to the end of this, before you even move on to the next question, please make sure that sometimes certain students, they become too excited when they get to this particular section of the paper, then they don't print this letter with the merge field or with the field exactly as they are appearing on the data file. So this is one document that contains most of the marks when it comes to the mail merge section. Please make sure that you print the document before you display the details of your merge fields. This is one document that comprises most of the marks. The data file together with the letters at the end, they have mark allocation, but they are not as much as the one that it's allocated for the 5 for your middle section, which is 5B, the one that contains most of the marks. So once you're here, you make printout of your letter, then from there you submit it basically as per the instruction. Students, I trust that you enjoyed this section where we are dealing with the creation of the letter using your merge fields. I hope to see you again on the next section. If you have any questions, please at the bottom of the video ask your questions, and you can also make as a subscription basically to our videos so that you get notified if ever there are new videos that get uploaded on this account. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.